The room was tense as reporters packed the Pentagon briefing room, notebooks and recorders ready, waiting for what promised to be one of the most scrutinized press conferences in months. Rumors had been swirling about former President Donald Trump's comments regarding a plan to overhaul military leadership, specifically targeting what he referred to as woke generals. The phrase had sent shockwaves through Washington, sparking debates about its implications for the military's future. Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby walked to the podium with his usual calm demeanor, but the energy in the room was anything but calm. Reporters peppered him with questions from the start. What does Trump mean by woke generals? Is this plan viable? How would such changes impact the military's structure and morale? Kirby, a seasoned professional, began with a measured response. Our focus at the Department of Defense remains on readiness, unity, and carrying out the mission of protecting the United States, Kirby said. But his statement didn't quell the room. Reporters pushed harder. Has the Pentagon discussed how a shift in leadership priorities, should this plan materialize, could affect national security? One reporter pressed. Kirby hesitated for just a second, enough to signal that the questions were hitting a nerve. We don't engage in hypotheticals based on campaign rhetoric, he replied, his tone firm. Our leadership is guided by the Constitution, not political commentary. But the questions didn't stop. A second reporter chimed in. Trump's remarks implied dissatisfaction with current military leadership. Do you believe this undermines trust in the chain of command? Kirby's expression tightened. The military is apolitical. We serve the people, not parties. The trust between our leadership and the American public is foundational and unwavering. Outside the briefing room, Trump's comments continued to dominate the headlines. Supporters hailed his plan as a necessary correction to a perceived overreach of progressive ideals within military leadership. Critics, however, warned that such rhetoric could destabilize an institution that relies on discipline, unity, and impartiality. Adding to the intrigue, anonymous sources claimed that Trump's team was quietly assembling a list of potential candidates to replace what he called entrenched bureaucrats in the upper echelons of military leadership. But who was on the list? And what criteria were being used to define woke? Back in the briefing room, Kirby faced the toughest question yet. If this plan were implemented, could it lead to a purge of senior military officials? What would that mean for national security? Kirby's response was careful but resolute. The United States military has faced and overcome challenges throughout its history, always adhering to its core values and constitutional obligations. That will not change. The press conference ended, but the tension remained. Outside the Pentagon, commentators speculated about the broader implications of Trump's remarks. Would this plan, if enacted, fundamentally reshape the military? Or was it merely campaign rhetoric designed to energize his base? For now, the Pentagon has stayed quiet, but one thing is certain. The clash between Trump's vision and the existing military establishment is a story that will continue to unfold. What happens next could redefine the relationship between politics and the armed forces for years to come. Stay tuned, this is just the beginning.